So our original game plan was to have a release in June, but we decided to do a release already now. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have a release in June, but we just had so much new exciting functionality we wanted to release to you all now. So I'm going to go through that very quickly in this video. A very natural place to start is the filter that a lot of people have been using a lot. We made a few very important upgrades there. The two most important ones are the fact that you can now add as many different filtering criteria as you like. So if you want to filter on reservoir pressure, temperature, reservoir formation name, field name, you name it, you can do that as you like. And there's also a new condition that's pretty helpful, especially when you're looking at things in a text string. So if you were, for instance, looking for a part of a reservoir formation, like let's say you were or a formation. So if you were looking for bone spring and you wanted to just look for bone, it will filter to those wells. So that's the filter part. And again, if you do any type of filtering, just remember that the filter is carried through and consistently honored in all of the different features. So if you went to the PVT feature, if you went to the bottom pressure feature, etc., you'll see that the well lift at the top here is honored. And the same goes actually if you go down here to the type hole feature, that the filter is being honored for you there in comparison plot, etc. So in these other features, if you want to turn it off or if you see that this is filled out blue, you know that the filter is on. So you just need to go in here and reset it if you would like to remove it. The place where we've had the most updates in this release has been related to the type hole feature. The type hole feature has been a feature we've gotten a lot of feedback on, and it's a big focus area for the software now in the short term to make type hole, DCA, and auto forecast extremely good. The same with comparison plot, and that's just been based on consistent feedback from all of you. If you want to add a type wall, you go down to the type wall here, and you see I have a ton of different examples here on this in this particular project. If I would like to go in and add a type wall, I go to the top right and click Add Type Wall, and I decide who wants to be a so-called co-owner of this project. Let's say me and Mo, we wanted to work on this together. And then I call this Mo and Matthias project. I select the wells that I'd like to include. I can do that with the filter, or I can do that in the map also if I want to select or deselect the wells in the map. Then I click save, and this loading piece has probably been the most important thing for the type well upgrade now. That loading and actually using the feature in general is probably 100 times as fast as what it was in the past. Earlier, we could maximally handle 50 wells in a type well at the time, and now it's up to 5,000. And when you work with the feature as well, you'll see that the feature is way faster when you work with a wide range of wells or a large number of wells. This is a project with 100 wells, and you just feel like once you loaded all the wells in, things are much more snappy than it was before. If you want to spread the colors, if you want to color by a custom attribute or go back to default colors, etc., it feels like a much faster and snappy feature. And that also goes if you're changing things here on the x-axis, if you want to do different types of normalizations, if you append a forecast for instance as well, even though it's a lot of wells, the software is able to cope with it. This is where you actually decide how many wells you like to select in the type well. That's the maximum number. So if you would like that to be a number larger than 200, let's say it's 5,000, you can change it up to 5,000. Another thing that's been very important for the type wall feature has been kind of the linking of the filtering between the type wall plot, the probit plot, and the map. The way to highlight the well is now by just single clicking the well. And you also see that when you single click a well, that those are highlighted here in the probit plot, and is also highlighted here in the map. So there is linking between the highlighting of the plots and the map. And you can remove the filter in all of the plots, and you can also add the highlighting in all of the plots. So here, if I wanted to highlight the worst performers on at least peak rate down here, I can highlight them like that, and I see where they are here, and also see where they land in my distribution of curves that I have in the plot right here. So that's very nice, and this has been a consistent feedback we've gotten from almost everybody that has used the feature. And now you can also select and deselect wells in the map. You can highlight wells in the map. You can remove the highlight in the map as well. So let's say I wanted to highlight these, then you see, okay, these wells are kind of a spread here in the probit plot, at least for peak rate, and I can do the same for EUR and see where they are in this case. There's been added a bunch of new items you can plot here in the probit plot. Cum 30, 60, 90, 180. And I'm sure this list will just continue to grow as we get more and more usage of the feature. The probit plot has a lot of upgrades. Many of the most important ones is to be able to remove the regression line right here. You can change the charged option to make the dots larger or smaller as you see fit, and you can also look at the values in a table format like this. I honestly like this feature so much that I think we'll introduce this feature in every single plot in the software. Very good. So except from that, there's other smaller things in the type role feature that is important to go through as well, but I'll just refer to the release notes for those updates. Many times, like everybody saw here, that I appended a DCA forecast. Now I have not appended it. That forecast needs to be a saved forecast already. Where do you do that? Well, you could go through every well by well and do a forecast and save it. But probably the most efficient place is to go and create an auto forecast. And it's the exact same thing here. You can create your auto forecast project. I can call this whatever I want. Matthias project here, for instance. I can click save. And the main new thing here on the auto forecast project is this new interface right here. So the interface is just updated. It's been the first step before you run the auto forecast as before, but you'll see that there's more customization here that you could go in and apply. Probably the most important one is that you can now set different bounds for the regression for each of the different phases or streams individually. So that's something you do by clicking this button up here to the right. Other items that's been introduced on like a bulk, like being able to handle a lot of wells at the same time, is available here in the well overview. So in the well overview for the project, you can go in and run a lot of the features. That list is continuously being increased to what you can run in a bulk mode in the software. And up here to the right in the edit all, a very cool one that's pretty recent is the PVT one, where you can actually now go in and set a PVT initialization based on a particular rule. So you can use the median or average of the X first days to decide yourself, and you will, if you would like to use the instantaneous GOR or the cumulative GOR to do a PVT initialization. So that's just an alternative to actually going in here and say, okay, I would like to set the GOR explicitly like this for every single well. I would like this to be 1,000, this one to be 2,000, etc. So there's just an alternative to that. And there's been a bunch of other bulk run updates that is also being mentioned in the release notes. The last thing that is at least the big new exciting features is that in the numerical model now, there is an option to run a so-called autofit. The autofit is available up here as long as you control it on a particular well control, oil, gas, water, or BHP. In the autofit, you need to decide which of these parameters would you like to regress on. Is it matrix permeability, fracture half length, any of the rel perm parameters, etc. You can provide the ranges between the min and the max. You can also provide the weight factors. These weight factors can be setting on or off the whole stream. And if you would like to be more specific on what parts of the data you like to weigh, you can actually go into the individual plots right here, and you can say, okay, I would like to set the weights of these to 10, and I would like to, for instance, set the weight of some of the initial data points. Let's say we didn't trust this to 0, and that's how you would go in and do that. And except from that, the only thing you need to do is to click AutoFit, and you're off to the races. And that was everything we wanted to go through, at least in this short video. The other things I would like to refer you to the release notes, and we'll talk again very soon.